Alright guys, the part 2 LR is here and is going to be an extreme in Possessed Super Saiyan Gohan and Goten, which I'm completely here for. A unit that we don't really have in the game. Dual, in a sense, not otherwise. We do have singular versions. But I am here for this. Should buff Baby's category, should buff potentially Mega Shenron's category, should be a great addition to help some of the more recent extreme class categories, and one of them being Corroded Body and Mind, which they are leading with the Key +3, HP attack and defense of 200%, along with Joined Forces. So Corroded Body and Mind, hopefully Inhuman Deeds, are getting a bunch of help as well. They do have an entrance animation when activated. The entrance animation when there's another Corroded Body and Mind category ally on the team upon the character's entry. They will have 10% dodge chance for 1 turn and 10% dodge chance for 3 turns. So that's an extra 20% for turn 1. And then turn 3, you carry that 10% up till. And then they will start with Key +3, 250% attack and defense, and have a 50% chance to dodge. So for the first turn, you'll have 70 in total. And then within those 3 turns, a base 60. And then when there's another Corroded Body and Mind category ally attacking in the same turn, so your main kind of target that you're going to be having for that is going to be Baby. They will have Key +3 and an extra 20% chance to dodge. So again, going back to that turn 1 appearance, they are looking at a total of 80% dodge chance. So almost guaranteed dodge. And then once that turn 1 is done, carrying on for those 3 turns from his entrance, you are then looking at 70% in total. No, 90% on turn 1. Yeah, 90% on turn 1, 80% up till turn 3. Then before attacking, they get an extra 10% chance to dodge. So this is going to be a dodge or die unit. This is going to be exactly what it says on the tin. This is going to be a dodge or die unit. With this amount of dodge, I'm kind of here for it. So again, turn 1 appearance, which is going to be their best appearance, you're going to have guaranteed dodge before attacking. So if you have a rotation where you don't have a slot 1 unit, you don't have a tank, and you know of how hard enemies are hitting nowadays, you can slide Goten and Gohan into slot 1. They will guarantee dodge, of course, if there is no dodge nullification. Happy days. Even after that, I mean, you're still looking at a ton of dodge. Even within those 3 turns, after that, you know, big turn 1 with all of that dodge chance, you're still looking at 90% chance to dodge. You're still looking at almost guaranteed dodge, which I know that also means there's a 10% chance they don't, which of course you'd have to be very, very unlucky not to dodge with all of this dodge chance. But of course it can happen. They're going to be able to go pretty much anywhere on the rotation. You know, slot 1 if you want to take the risk once the guaranteed dodge is gone. But then slot 2, slot 3, I mean, typically it does look like you're going to want them with Baby anyway. But it does look like they can kind of go anywhere on the rotation because of all their dodge chance. However, what I will say, if you are going to take them in against Red Zone Pure Saiyans Broly, things might get a little bit techie for them considering he does cancel dodge. So then after they do evade an attack, they will have a guaranteed additional super, so putting them in slot 1 might be a good idea, depending on what they're getting on SA effect. Then for every attack evaded, they do gain Key +1 up to 5, 30% attack up to 150, and 50% defense up to 250. I mean, you could gain the majority of that just on turn 1 alone, if there are enough attacks in slot 1. And even then after that, again, you're looking at 90% dodge chance within those 3 turns from their entrance. You can build that up in absolutely no time whatsoever. So that's going to be quick and easy to build up, because you're literally looking at 5 attacks. That's all they need to dodge, and they gain all of this. Then when attacking with 18 or more ki, they will launch an additional attack that has a 70% chance to become a super attack. And then when attacking with 24 ki, 100% attack, and Corroded Body and Mind allies 20% defense. I would have preferred if the support wasn't locked behind them getting 24 ki. It would have been nice if they just supported Corroded Body and Mind allies to begin with. You know, even just a little Key +2, 3, attack and defense of 20-30%. But I mean, at least they do have some support. I just wished it wasn't locked behind this. I mean, I suppose they are going to link fairly well with Baby. GT's a key link anyway. And then any GT unit they link with. You know, you're looking at Key +3 here, Key +3 here, Key +5 here in total. So, I mean, you are looking at Key +11. So maybe this is going to be quite easy to unlock, essentially. But I still would have preferred if they supported Corroded Body and Mind allies naturally. or extreme class allies naturally, and then they unlocked extra support for corroded body and mind allies with the 24 key, so that way they could have given support to any of Omega Shenron's category units, any of Baby's units, then specifically corroded body and mind would have got a big boost, kind of like what they were doing like the 10th anniversary units. But still, the fact they have support is nice. I just would have preferred it not behind a restriction. But with all that key they get in, maybe it's not going to be an issue. So their active skill can be activated starting from the next attacking turn after the character evades an attack once. Okay, I mean, so that means literally on their first appearance, because they're going to have guaranteed dodge as long as you have a corroded body and mind ally, which again, if you have Baby, maybe it's not going to be set up that way, but as soon as you have them next to Baby, that's guaranteed dodge, but even then, they still have a ton of dodge chance regardless. But if they dodge once, which is very likely on turn 1, if they're next to a corroded body and mind ally, because they will have guaranteed dodge on turn 1 from the entrance animation, you will have their active skill ready to go on their next appearance. So the earliest you could see their active skill is turn 3, turn 4, which means you can have that ready to go whenever you feel the need to use it. And when you do use it, they're gaining key +5 and 30% attack, so that's also going to help to get the guaranteed support. Attacks effective against all types and evades enemies' attack guaranteed for 1 turn, which is also very, very nice. I would probably use their active skill once their entrance animation's gone, because then they're going to have the least amount of dodge, or maybe if you're in a character lock-in event, maybe if they're split up from their corroded body and mind unit and they have even less dodge. Essentially, I would only activate this when I'm going for the win, or I would activate it when they have at least amount of dodge as possible from their passive. But overall, solid passive. Their link skills are Thirst for Conquest, GT, Hatred of Saiyan, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Their category, should I say, are Corroded Body and Mind, Joined Forces, Hybrid Saiyan, Super Saiyan, Earthbred Fighters, Terrifying Conquerors, Mission Execution, and Kamehameha. So no Omega Shenron lead, unfortunately, which means they won't be buffing his lead, because he leads Full Power, Inhuman Deeds, and GT bosses, which of course they're not, even though technically they're possessed by a Baby. I think they should add Inhuman Deeds. I mean, maybe they didn't do anything too bad to give them Inhuman Deeds, but at the end of the day, they're possessed by Baby. I would have given them Inhuman Deeds, but that's just me. So it does look like you're only going to be running them on Baby's lead, which is still a very good lead. You can pull some of the Omega Shenron's units onto his lead anyway, so they will be able to work with him as well. But I mean, overall, I mean, you're not really going to run them here, if we're being honest, and you're not really going to run them here, because you're going to want to run them with a Corroded Body and Mind unit. So, I mean, Terrifying Conquerors, Corroded Body and Mind, Mission Execution is fine. I mean, the fact you can get them onto these categories, I mean, primarily you are losing dodge, maybe a little bit of stats, but primarily dodge. So you could, but the best places you're going to be running them is any category that Dokkan, Fest, Baby, and other Corroded Body Man units are, of course, going to be on. So in terms of SA effect on 12 key, they do raise attack and defense by either 20 or 30% for 3 turns, cause colossal damage to the enemy, and lower attack and defense, or just attack. And then on 18 key, they greatly raise attack and defense by 50% for 3 turns, cause mega colossal damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers attack. I think overall, it's going to be a very they do what they say on the tin kind of unit. They are a dodge or die unit. They're probably going to be doing quite a bit of damage, and they are a dodge or die unit with some support. So they're probably going to be a lot of fun to use, but of course there are going to be very slim chances when they don't dodge, and of course fights like Broly where they have dodge cancellation is going to be a huge problem for them, more than likely. But I'll be really intrigued to see what they do upon release, so let's go take a look at these animations, and hopefully they're hitting the same way Babies were. Okay, let's see what we got, Dokkan.
To expect of Saiyan power. This is the kind of ability and control I need.
That entrance was dope. Goten throwing hands. I'm not gonna lie, these character models look sensational. They have got the GT graphic on point. Aye, that's pretty sick.
Power of yours won't be enough to catch up.
That's pretty sick. Oh, we just, oh, what? Oh, no, that is disrespectful as shit. Dug his face into the ground. That 18 key super attack is disgusting. You know it's peak when I have to replay this. Look at this. That is a super attack animation I don't think I'd ever get bored of seeing because of how rude it is. Imagine doing that to some of the hardest enemies in the game like Broly, etc. Imagine that, just drag them across the ground. Oh my god, their animations are great. I love that 18 key super attack so much. Overall, they look like a very good unit, very solid. As I said, they are what they say on their tin. They're a very much dodge or die unit. So I can imagine a lot of people are going to be very polarized by this release. They're probably going to say they're either really bad or really good. There's probably going to be no in between. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments of the LR Possessed GT Gohan and Goten. Are you going to be summoning, yes or no? Let me know. But I'll see you in the next video, guys. There's a little hint of what we're going to be doing next right here, which I'm so gassed for. But take care, have a great day, and peace.